What's up guys, got another round to break down for you. This time I'm rolling with Brad. He's a white belt and he's been training for about 6 or 7 weeks now. So starting in the standing position, just looking to fight the hands, getting a strong collar tie, looking to work on pushing and pulling, generating reactions. I get a collar tie and a tricep grip. I'm going to push and pull, sit into guard, get in the inside position with the legs. Brad drives in, so I kick back through for the cross lashing, break him down to a hip. So slowing that sequence down, I've got a collar tie and a tricep grip. I push and pull as I sit to guard with both feet to the inside. My left leg hooks and elevates. As Brad drives in, I'm going to swing my right leg underneath his far leg, lock a triangle, then break him down to a hip. I'm always using my left arm to frame and my right arm to control his knee. After I've broken him down to a hip, Brad takes the bottom position, so I come up on top. He crosses his ankles, so I'm just trying to separate his legs. He's trying to control my wrist, so I keep my hand safe, and I'm looking to roll through to catch the heel. After I initially catch the heel, Brad uses his secondary leg to free it, so I keep control of his ankle with my right hand, and I keep his legs separated with my left. Brad's doing a good job giving me trouble with his free leg, but I just managed to expose his heel, and I catch the gable grip. I lock my legs tight round his hip to stop him from turning out, and I get the tap. Starting again from the standing position, this time I'm going to let Brad work a little bit, so I'm going to keep a low posture to see if he'll go for the snap down opportunity, but he keeps control of my wrist, so I break his grip, and we continue with a hand fight. He reaches for a single, and he pulls my leg up to the hip, goes for the trip, but as I turn away, he goes for the trip again and gets the body lock. From the top turtle position, Brad makes a big mistake. Because Brad climbs his hips over my hips, and he releases his body lock and looks for the seatbelt grip, as I hit a 4-point, he just falls off the top of me, and I take the top position. Brad wrestles up immediately with an underhook, so I use a whizzer to sprawl past and get the top turtle. I manage to trap Brad's arm and pull him over to take the back. I lock my legs to keep the arm trapped. I get an arm around the neck, and I take my secondary hand from under the armpit, and instead of locking at the choke, I place my hand on top of Brad's hand, anticipating that he's going to try and defend. Doing this guarantees that I will always beat Brad's defensive hand to my own hand when I want to lock up the choke. With this choke, my elbow position is slightly off, and I didn't feel like I could finish the submission, so I allow Brad to start working out. He clears the hand around his neck and he turns to his knees. Brad takes a scoop grip with his right hand and tries to turn the corner. As he does this, I place my left hand on his right elbow and I stiff arm. This creates space for me to scoot back and get my hips away, then I can return to the guard. Brad does a good job side smashing my legs, and he locks a body lock around my waist. To counter the body lock, I shimmy my legs to the outside as I turn to my knees, and then I hit a shoulder roll over my right shoulder. I follow this escape up with an over-under hook sweep, and I take the top position. Brad's using both his arms to grab my legs and try and come up for the wrestle, so I look for the guillotine and take the bottom position. I lose the neck for the guillotine, so I transition to the telephone armbar attack. He manages to free his arm, and we continue in the knee shield position. I use my left knee and my left arm to frame and keep the distance. I'm going to try and set up an arm drag from this position. I use my right hand to control Brad's wrist and my left hand to control his elbow. I push his arm through for the arm drag, and I keep control of the wrist as I heist up over his hips. Brad tries to put his back on the mat, so I put my left knee nice and high near his head, and I roll through, taking his back on the other side. I trap Brad's arm with my legs, but because I don't lock him, he manages to free his hands and free himself from the submission. He does this by pushing up on the elbow, which exposes the primary attacking hand. Then he turns in and puts his back onto the mat, so I take the top mount. From the top mount, I sit up nice and tall and I'm squeezing with my knees. I don't want to try and cross face Brad while I don't have an underhook, because this means he could do a kip-in escape. My main objective here is to pin one hand to the mat and get Brad to have to turn to one side. Brad's doing a good job defending. He's keeping his elbows close to his body, making it hard for me to work my underhook game. As he brings his elbows back into the middle and I lose my underhook, I sit back up to try and pin an arm to the mat again. From here, I feel like the position's getting slower, so I'm going to transition to shin on belly, give Brad some space to see if he'll come for a wrestle up. Nothing really happens from that position, so I'm going to skip it forward. I lock up a closed guard. Brad's got his right arm stuck across my body, so I'm going to look to come up, but he pins the arm to the mat. I transition to an arm bar, but he stands up and frees his arm. I look to transition to the leg, but I lose control because I didn't have any grips on his foot. From here, Brad pressures back in and I take the closed guard once more. From the closed guard, Brad's pressuring in, he looks across facing an underhook. So I'm going to take my right hand inside of his grip and lock an S grip with my left hand. I break his grip and look for the inside wrist position. I throw my legs over for the triangle, scoop his leg and turn the corner. I lock the triangle tighter with my shin and I get the tap. And that's the end of the round. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell if you want to keep up with fresh content. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.